What is up, Cyber Frog friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of Market Flow, powered by THOR, hosted by me, Mode. Still got to get this little picture here updated. Thursdays, we are now doing at 11 a.m. EST. That's 4 p.m. UTC. We just seem to be a little bit better time frame for the other side of the world. It's been exciting getting a lot of people to join in Market Flow that weren't able to previously make the other session. So we're trying to fit everyone in. That's the new time slot. Be aware of it. All right. I didn't get to do a recap last week because I was on the road. I did, however, do a live stream of Market Flow for the Cyber Frog friends and family that were here live with us, but there was no recap recorded. So where did we leave off? What were we talking about? We're going to look at the big picture here for Bitcoin. We're looking all the way back here into March where we established the high. Ever since then, we have only had our high, our low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, indicating lower high, indicating lower low, but we actually have our higher low. Now, if this higher low can press us into potentially this higher high, which we're not far from, we're knocking on the door right now. The last high was 65. Even if we can get up to 66, 67, that would give us our higher low, higher high, indicating that we could potentially again see a higher low. If we do see that next higher low, that is indication of good direction and momentum change, indication of where market makers want to send things next. So remember, don't buy into pumps. We always want to be buying on a support. And I think even if we get the higher high, even if we can't break out of this downtrend, even just getting to that higher high, I'm now looking for our next higher low on our uptrend support. That would put us right near our 56 DCA area. So things are looking pretty good right now if the plan holds accordingly. Now, what changes my mind? If we start to lose key levels, right? Even if we do get the higher high, if we lose this key level of the 52, because that puts us in another THOR call, in another one of our DCA levels, but another long-term support. If we lose that, I really do think that not only could we see the 48, but if we lose 50K, I think we could be coming all the way down here to the 42, 43 call. So that's the bearish scenario. We can't hold a higher low and go to post a lower low. Not only a lower low at 48, but if we lose 50, we may see capitulation. So we have THOR calls to look forward to. At this time, we still don't have any THOR shorts when it comes to the 4-hour and the daily, looking at the longer time frame. However, one thing we need to look at for the side of the pump. These are our entries if we dump down to these prices, right? What prices should we be looking at for a pump? Invalidation of this daily long call at 65K. Invalidation of this daily long at 65. Invalidation of all three of these daily longs at 72. So now we're looking at 65, which is our last high, right? If we can break our last high, making the higher low, we've invalidated these two top THOR calls. If we break the 72K, we've invalidated all those calls all the way down to 33 and 17K, right? So what do we also have? This is talking a little more macro, a little more outside of the charts. We have an election year. We have basis points reduced. We know the U.S. government is going to do whatever it can to make Americans feel like they are rich going into election time, whether that be not just giving stimulus checks, but stimulating the economy. cutting basis points, cutting interest, maybe reducing gas prices, things like this to make us feel like we have money again before we go into that election booth, right? Now, let's look beyond the U.S. China. China has just reduced interest rates. China has just reduced the balance and capacity of reserve that banks need to hold in lending, meaning that they can lend out more money. China has now made it legal for security holdings to use those funds in investments in stocks. All these things are to inflate risk on asset. That coupled with the halving, I'm still bullish on where I think Bitcoin's going to go. Even if we do have a liquidation flush, I still think we've got the big leg of the bull run coming. Now, those are the targets we are looking for there. Let's jump into Solana. Then we're going to take a macro look at the chart for Bitcoin once again. Looking at our calls for Solana, if we just zoom out, take out the noise, we can see every time we've got down to this area, down at our DCA zone at the bottom of 130, it's been a good time to buy, even though we sometimes went all the way down to 116 or even down to 110. 130 has always been a strong spot to add to your bag where you could take profit afterwards. We're in that area now, right? We hit the zone, same thing. We made the higher low. Are we going to see the higher high? The higher high would put us right inside this THOR short, would invalidate those other calls, and give us that entry about 167, and then test the support, the take profit at 151 would be testing the support of this fair value gap that we have not been able to range out of. So not only am I looking at this THOR short call right here, but the one that is more important to me that I'm really watching to give an indicator of further movement and change of levels in Solana is I am looking for this THOR call here with entry at 166, 167. If we can pump to this short and then find support on the take profit at this 151, bullish. We still have some calls down here, lower for support. Let's go ahead, jump into THOR. We're going to go into Solana. Okay, so you see we have the shorts. We also have longs, 130, 120, and 80. So we still have these calls down here, but invalidate at 162, 162, 154. So again, we're about to break that 154 right now, potentially invalidating a call. If we can break that 156, get into this THOR short. We've now hit the short range. We're looking for take profit at 145, finding support on top of our DCA zone and invalidating those long-term short calls we've got all the way down here. So this could be a good indication that the market is finally making a move in a different direction. We have our zones we're looking for. We have our zones we're paying attention to. Now, I'm going to zoom out and we're going to look at our Bitcoin chart that was on the weekly. Remember, we said we were over 100 days ahead of a typical breakout testing all-time highs. People are saying this is the slowest bull run we've ever had, when in reality, if we look at when we went from our low to retesting all-time highs, it took 700 days. Low of the bear to retesting all-time highs, 700 plus days. We look at the cycle that we're in right now, from our low to retesting all-time highs, 500 days, maybe less, 400 some days. This is the fastest we've ever got into these levels. It's the only time previously we had a double top and spent this much time inside the all-time high range. It is no surprise to me at all that we are spending more time in this range, being that we spent more time there before and being that we're, 200 to 300 days ahead of schedule. Everything still looks good for the macro point of the bull run from my standpoint, especially if we can hold this uptrend here. Note that we could still come down to that entry of 40K zone, 46, and be on this uptrend, right? Are we going to see the RSI hold? Remember, this is weekly. This is macro view. If the RSI can hold here near neutral this time and not drop down below, this could be really bullish for the next leg up. All right, we're going to get a little degen here. Jupiter. I've talked about Jupiter time and time again. We said when we were entering Jupiter before, we said we were DCAing at 82, at 71, 64. Those buys were excellent, especially when we look at our exits at $1 and $1.15. Well fucking played. Jupiter, again, we were looking for exactly the same thing. We're looking for 82, 71, and 64. We got our 82, we got our 71. We only got down to 65, though. Not quite our 64. If you front run it or you were just DCAing in the zone here, good on you, because we are already back breaking out of our top DCA zone. We're already leaving our DCA zone. A lot of people are probably looking to add to their bags at this point when we're already 40% up on our bottom trade. I'm not saying that right now is the time to get out of this trade, but right now is the time to take profits. If you were in a trade and not just an investment, 40%, always a good time to at least scrape a little bit of profit, right? Doesn't mean sell out your whole bag. Doesn't mean you close your position, but you never go broke taking profits. Mother has been a big talk all over Twitter after breakpoint. My chart's a little funky right now. Okay, here we go. We've been talking about Mother for some point. I actually had a little belief in Mother because I saw how much hate Iggy Azalea got all the way back here. I saw how much hate she got when everything came down here, and she took it like a fucking champ, and she made memes about it that were funnier than the whole rest of fucking meme tokens and the entire meme market. I had believed she was going to do something, and we had, again, market makers gave us the fair value gap. They showed us the fair value gap established here. We came back, revisited, and we knew anywhere under 4 cents would have been a good area to be buying Mother. Congrats to you if you were buying Mother at under 4 cents. We're now up to our first resistance and take profit point perfectly. Like, we are on that point perfectly right now. Buying at 4 cents or below right now, you are up 130%. Again, this could continue to run, but you want to be buying on a support. Don't chase, and you never go broke by taking profits. If you don't understand trading, jump into Marketflow. Jump into Cyber Frogs on Monday with Rumpty and Cyber Dojo. Wednesdays, Decoding with Dregs. We do Thursday mornings, 11 a.m. EST. Come understand how to use the risk management tool. If you want to take this long for Solana at 130, risk management. What are you willing to lose on this trade? If this trade goes wrong, what are you willing to risk in USD? Say I'm willing to risk $50 on this trade. Calculate, okay, I know I'm going to buy 6 Solana at $128.22. I'm going to sell that 6 Solana at $139.17 for profit, and I'm setting my stop loss at 120. And if we hit stop loss, I've only lost the $50 I've input. THOR does all the calculations for you. There's two parts to profitable trading. Finding yourself on the right side of probability and proper risk management. THOR teaches you how to find the right side of probability with good entry and good exit and good risk management to your risk tolerance, whatever it may be. If you're still not understanding this trading, still having difficulty getting it, but you want exposure to the markets, come into CyberFrogs and educate yourself. Don't jump in. Come into CyberFrogs, talk to the community, and educate yourself on the auto trading bots. Not even bot, the auto trading THOR. It's the first automated hedge fund on blockchain that is buying low, selling high, and staking your assets in between. We're doing this with Solana, opening up to Jupiter. Future assets are coming. The art upgrade is out. Now it's back to fucking business, which is putting out protocols and products that print. Frogs fuck, THOR prints. See y'all next week.